This is a beautiful field. This is behind Villanueva de la Torre, and it's just lovely here. Directly ahead, you can see the sun breaking through and those beautiful rays of light. In the center of the screen right now is Zaluma and Viso del Zeros, where I occasionally make videos. This whole area is loaded with these tall, flat plateaus. It looks like a hill, and it is, but behind that hill, it's just flat. It goes for miles. Very all agricultural, and it's stunningly beautiful. I think it's time to get moseying along. Let's do that. Because this is a little crazy, I'm putting the camera on the helmet. I think I need to make the helmet tighter. There we are. All systems are go. It's not so terrible here, but mostly it's tire tracks and these tractor tracks which make the bike vibrate. The camera, this Insta360 Ace Pro, does a fantastic job with vibration. Its stabilization is outstanding. Even now it's bouncing around quite a bit, and you probably can't tell. There's nothing for it because it's bouncy here. To see the Garmin because I have an exit coming up and I don't want to miss it. In fact, here it is. I don't use the Garmin a hell of a lot for planning a trip, but it's dead useful for finding your way back. There it is. Oh, where did the road go? Well, it's very polite to call this a road. It would be kind of a Camino. little crazy, it's rocky. It's not muddy right here. I don't want to go into the mud. Not too much. Last ride I did, I went for it, going towards Pier, and boy, the bike packed up a lot. Now, getting your bike all muddy is part of the fun. I didn't get dirty because, I mean, it was remarkable how dirty I didn't get because the mud guards work so well. Nevertheless, I did take it to the car wash because if I put that much dirt in the driveway, I'd get yelled at. Anyway, the car wash now has wheel wells above the drainage grid, and you can park your mountain bike. It's big enough for a 2.8-inch tire for sure. And you can park your bike into the wheel well and hose it off with the power wash. And I've never seen that before. The last time I was there was to wash this bike was months ago, maybe a year, I don't know. And they didn't have it, so when the guys came in to wash their bikes off from the parks, there'd be mud all over the place. This way the mud goes into the grid, it gets filtered, and nobody has to walk through all these clumps. I thought that was brilliant. And he's doing a robust bicycle business. There's always a line. There were 6 bikes there the other night. I was impressed. And I was also impressed that it was so well managed. You see, he makes the same money on a car as a bicycle, so why not cater to both? Most people that live in towns like Alcala and like here, for example, these townhouses, I guess you could call them, they're pretty much like where we live. And you have a little tiny front yard and a little tiny backyard. And in my case, my backyard is not accessible. You have to go through the house. So to get to the backyard, you have to go through the house, and that will not work with the bicycle. Not at all. I have to hand it to my wife, though. She's a super good house manager, financer, and all that kind of stuff. I should do a little story on washing a bike after it gets completely loaded with mud. But in a nutshell, you don't want to use the pressure washer directly on your fork extensions where the wipers are. You want to avoid that with high pressure, just the minimum amount possible. And if you have a dropper seat post like this one, you don't want to hose it at all, if possible. The seat post didn't get it dirty, so I just didn't do anything with it. I've been very pleased with this XLC suspension dropper seat post. I could recommend it. There are others, to be sure. PNW makes the Coast model, and it's essentially the same beast. If you didn't see the brand, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, as far as ride quality and longevity, I don't know. The American-made one should theoretically be better. But XLC makes a lot of components for brand bicycles, and they buy the product, put their own label on it, and shove it on the bike and sell it to you, and they're very good. This will be my third XLC seat post. I have two suspension parallelogram suspension types. One on my gravel bike, and the one I bought for this bike when I built it. I like it. It's a really plush ride. It's better than this. This takes the hits, but the other one is just smoother on the little stuff. The reason you want a suspension seat post, well, there's a lot of reasons, is this is a hardtail. So it does have a big, juicy 2.8-inch tire on the back, so that eats a lot of shock. But when you hit a pothole or something, you need something to protect your lumbar, protect your spine from the shock. In fact, that's exactly why I bought this bike. One night, I was driving home on my gravel bike, very happy, not really focused on anything except, a nice ride. And I hit a very sharp pothole. And it made my back sore for like a month. It was a terrible jolt. So I thought after that, I think it's time to do something. And I honestly didn't want a full suspension bike. And I wanted something that I could put a big tire on the back. So I bought this Cannondale Trail 6, stripped off all the factory parts and fixed it, and then bought a 27.5-inch rear wheel with a 350 watt motor in it. Now that by going to a 27.5, I was able to put on this 2.8-inch tire and have plenty of room to put a mudguard, and it can get loaded up. There's plenty of room, and it keeps the bottom bracket approximately the same height. Later, I changed the 100mm travel fork to this 120mm travel fork. Now, I don't know that I'm getting, I've measured the amount of travel I used, and I'm sure that I can get 100mm of full travel when I really am in a rough spot. Mostly where it compresses is when I stop. All the weight goes forward like this, all the weight goes forward and really pushes down the fork. On rock gardens and such, you probably get about 30, 50 millimeters of travel, something like that. I would stop and put the lamp on, but I'm going to be back on a gravel road in about a couple minutes, and I don't want the lamp bouncing around on the rock garden it's about to go through. So this is going to get boring, so I'll say adios and stop. It was supposed to stop. It's a little silly.